Hi everyone, I'm Dr. RakheeYadav, consultant pediatrician. Welcome to my Insta Live. Today I have a very special guest, YB Rajiv Rishyakaran, and he'll be talking to us about helping communities during the pandemic. Um, it's been something that a lot of us have been doing on our own, but let's just see from a perspective from a politician on what else we can actually do to help these people out, help our communities. What has he been doing, and what we can do as a community as well. Just give me a minute and let me add him in. So as we wait for him, Selamat Hari Merdeka to everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Wadi.
Hello.
Can you hear me clearly? Is everything okay?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can. You
All
have
right.
okay, excellent. Thank you so much for joining me live. I know it's been a back forth thing for the past couple of weeks, but I know you've been
Yeah.
very busy, and that's one of the reasons why I actually called you to go on live with me. So
Happy
thank you
to
so
go.
much once again. I just like to go straight into it and dive right into it. Would you like to
No
tell us a
problem.
little bit about yourself and how you became to be in the position that you are today?
Well, I'm Rajiv. I'm 40 years old this year. I'm an engineer by training, and I've been in politics since 2008. I helped Hannah Yo campaign in 2008, and when we won, to be honest, unexpectedly back then, uh, life in politics started, and I went in full time into politics in 2009. And I don't know, Bukit today. I'm in politics because I believe Malaysia deserves a much better government. I think we can be more competent. I think we can be much more first world than we are today.
Absolutely. And we also need a lot more young bloods like you and YB Hannah and Said today. And, we
Not so
definitely need
young
a
blood
more younger
anymore.
crowd. No, but
I was young when I joined, but not so young anymore.
compared to the current ones that are ruling, I think you guys are considered the younger generation. Almost my age,
So,
so yes, we're still young.
all right.
Um, so how has the pandemic affected the communities that you're in? You're in Bukit Gasing at the moment, and
Yes.
how has it affected since the first lockdown? I mean, we've seen three
All right.
lockdowns so far. I've lost count already, but how has it affected over the past 1.5 years?
Well, I would say it affects different people differently. There are a lot of people who have lost their income because of the never-ending lockdowns, and they're really struggling to make ends meet. There are those that are thriving. I know those who are selling medical-related items, especially those selling the saliva test kits right now, making a killing, earning a lot. They're doing well in this time. And the others who are neutral, break even, like if your employer is capable of paying your salaries on time and in full, which a lot of multinationals are doing, the government sector is doing. So a lot of people are also still okay, still living the same life they were before the pandemic, not affected financially as much. So I think it's a mixed society, and I have to be mindful not to paint everyone in the same brush, recognizing that there are different people are affected differently, and so our in terms of aid, it goes out to those who needs it, those who have lost their income, regardless of where they stay, because some of them may stay in areas which are more affluent, but that was when they had their income. And a lot of people had to lose their income, not because of bad business calculations, but simply because the government said you can't open for business. And the government shut their doors and ended their revenue streams and put them in a tight spot. So different people are affected differently.
Would you say that P40, M40 are more affected than the top 20, or do you think everybody is affected
I
at a
think everyone's
certain level?
affected. I think enough people in the top 20 have overcommitted themselves, and a slight blip in their income puts them into insolvency.
All right.
So
Yeah. So,
enough of
what
that.
has your team done during these times? When you see everybody across the board, communities at every level that's affected. So, what has your team done during this time to help them out?
All right, so the most basic is food aid. We've done food aid from the beginning of MCO until now. In fact, right now at this stage, if you live in Bukit Gasing and you say you need food aid, we give it to you. We don't have a very stringent filtering. If you declare that you need the food aid, we will give it to you. We also have non-food assistance, some of which are common, some are not. We're giving laptops and tablets to students who need it because distant learning is has been ongoing for a long time, and it looks like it's going to be here for a while more. And we want to help students to not be left behind. We are giving vouchers for people to get mental health therapy sessions, counseling in this time. And there has been, especially those below 35, they are taking this up. Not so much of those above 40 years old. We are giving
Excellent.
mobile phone top-ups to help people stay connected
Wow.
in this time. We're helping people get to the vaccination centers. We're helping people get their vaccine appointments sorted out for those having trouble getting their vaccine appointments to date. So I think in Bukit Gasing, very few, if at all, anyone who wants a vaccination appointment has not gotten it. So, weeks ago, back in July, I think everyone who wanted a vaccine appointment, we've helped them get one. Uh,
Yeah.
we are, what do you call it? Let's see, what else have we got down? We've helped taxi drivers earn a living throughout this time by using them rather than the e-hailing services, which is the mainstay among most of the other assistance programs. So we wanted to help give special mention to the taxi drivers there. We've helped bring COVID test prices down. That's now the medical side of it. So November last year,
Yeah.
we were the first to launch 70 ringgit uh, COVID tests. Yes, antigen wasn't popular back then. We were one of the first to push it. And to be honest, after the MOH started using it in Sabah, I have felt there's no reason to not use it over here to make testing more accessible. So at 70 ringgit, it was the first time anyone had testing below 100 ringgit. And we managed to do
Yeah,
it
that's
by,
actually when I started following you, and it's amazing because I was like, here is an ADUN, I mean, a YB that's doing this. Why isn't anybody else cutting down the prices? I think at that point, the PCR price was 700 ringgit. Then you've
yeah,
got 70, 700. I mean, we definitely needed to upscale our test trace and, So yeah, that was
yeah.
definitely a fantastic job on your end.
We've since brought it down to 60 ringgit. And just for everyone's information, the 70 ringgit back then and the 60 ringgit now, these are not subsidized. These are market prices that we've managed to work out by sitting down with the doctors, the suppliers, working out the SOPs that Ministry of Health has released on how we can improve the processes to drive the cost down. We also offer probably the cheapest PCR in town at 160 ringgit. So our center not only does antigen testing at 60 ringgit, we do PCR testing at 160 ringgit. It's not
Is that for
subsidized.
everybody or just a certain
Anyone?
group of people?
No,
Oh,
everyone and
okay.
anyone, because they are not subsidized, and that's why we have no
Yeah.
restrictions. Whether you are a Malaysian, whether you're a Selangorian or non-Selangorian, whether you're a foreigner, whether you're undocumented, yeah,
So how does public or these communities come up with their in distress? Like you said, if there's anybody that needs food aid or something, they just come up to y'all and you just give it to out. So
okay.
what about, I mean, what are the ways of connecting to y'all?
All right, so the aids that we were giving, that's for Bukit Gasing residents. So then the food aid, the laptop, the therapy and mobile phone top up, that's strictly for Bukit Gasing. So we have three hotline numbers. They can call us at any of the number or WhatsApp us at any of the number, or even reach out to us on Facebook, Instagram. But more commonly, they contact the hotline or WhatsApp the hotline. That's the best way to
Okay.
get to us because we don't set up physical distribution centers for food. As much because it normally invites a crowd and things could get out of control. So we
Yeah.
work together with our suppliers to deliver it to your house. That's for the aid, but for the COVID testing, then that was a different philosophy. That we wanted to drive prices down sustainably, and because of that, since November until now, we're already at the end of August. We've been doing daily testing, with the exception of Hari Raya and Chinese New Year, 2 days off. Other
Yeah.
public holidays, we still run daily testing, Mondays to Sundays. And that's
Wow.
ongoing today also. So we get between 50 to 200 a day, depending on the COVID season. And these are not just PJ people, but people from outside PJ do come as well for the testing. These are not exclusively Malaysians. A lot of foreigners do come. So
Where do they go for this testing?
it's at the Rakan Muda complex next door to the hockey stadium, opposite Asunta
Okay.
Hospital. So
Okay. Yeah, that's
sorry,
a huge
Asunta
place.
Hospital, for putting cheap testing right at your doorstep. But the whole
No, but
point
I'm
is
sure
to make
every hospital does a test anyway, so yeah,
yeah
you're not contaminating the air, don't worry.
yeah. But we've now moved into saliva test kits. This one we are subsidizing because the market price is a bit high at the moment. And so
Yes,
for
yes.
Bukit Gasing residents who are B40, we're selling to them at 10 ringgit. And for Bukit
Yeah,
Gasing residents who are not in who don't need the B40 subsidy, we are selling to them at 18 ringgit, a smaller subsidy.
yes,
So we want to make the saliva test kits accessible because people should test often. And I know, I mean, you're supposed to follow SOPs and not do it, but I'm sure most of the listeners out there, you are breaking the SOPs in one way or the other. You're
yeah.
meeting your neighbors or your parents or your friends or your colleagues or your boyfriend or your girlfriend. You're not supposed to visit each other, but it's happening. And that's why COVID is
Yeah,
spreading. And because of
yeah,
that, test. Test before you go and socialize. Before you visit your parents,
absolutely.
test so that you don't go and infect your parents accidentally. So I want to encourage this culture of testing. So we are doing a subsidy on the saliva test kit. I'm hoping that this goes until mid to end September before the market prices catch up, and that the prices that will be in the pharmacies will be less than 20 ringgit, and then we don't need to run this subsidy program. So the saliva test
Yeah.
kits are available at my office, but we're not selling this to outside Bukit Gasing residents because of the subsidy element. We need to manage our costs.
Yes, absolutely. And I think it's just a matter of time before the government sort of caps the prices of these saliva tests or nasal tests, because it's absolutely essential for those going back into work, because we know most of the clusters are at work. And in fact, the few that have come to me, like in pediatrics, the kids get infected because their parents have gone back to work.
Mm,
And so I think it's just to be safe, just do the test whenever you go back. And I think they're doing studies at the moment to look at how often one should do a test, these saliva tests or nasal tests, based
mm,
on the sensitivity and based on the fact that they are in contact on a more regular basis. So
all
that's really interesting. There's so much that you have been doing, and I think this is absolutely wonderful, because if more people were doing what you're doing, I think the whole of Selangor wouldn't have reached a crazy fourth wave like what we had. And I absolutely agree with you that we should be testing, testing, testing more, rather than just ignoring the fact and hiding it under the carpet. COVID's here to
yeah,
stay, and we need to sort of learn to live with it sustainably. So
yes,
what
we
can
do.
we, besides not breaking SOPs, what can we as members of public do to help MPs like you, to help, to help people who are in power to make the right moves, and just to help you guys out? What could we do as community members?
Okay, well, I think there are two tangents into what can you do. We've had lots of people coming forward and contributing financially or in kind towards aiding those in need. So a lot of food aid contribution comes from well-wishers, even devices, laptops, tablets. Uh, so if you want to donate either cash or in kind, you can donate it in any one area that you feel you want to help out. It could be Bukit Gasing, it could be in Klang, it could be in KL. But that goes a long way to helping those who are really in need. The second way, if you're talking about influencing decisions, is that contact your member of parliament. Let them know how you feel. And that actually carries weight. If a member of parliament gets 50, 100 messages asking for something, they will take notice. I'm telling you because I'm one of them who will take notice if, people keep knocking at your door on something. So, be it Facebook message, email, WhatsApp message, if you happen to have their phone number, reach out to them in any way that you would normally reach out to someone, and convey to them these things that you are hoping to see. So one thing which I think the government is very much in the position of doing now, they're talking about not the in thing is the saliva test kits. I think if the government was to do a bulk purchase for 10 million or 50 million saliva test kits, the price would be so much cheaper. The government could resell it through all kinds of agencies, through the either the clinic kesehatans or through local council offices or wherever it is, where the government could either give it away for free, like in UK, NHS gives away the saliva test kit, I mean the COVID test kit for free to anyone who requests it over the app. So if the government buys 10 million, the price point will change drastically, as opposed to pharmacies who buy in hundreds or thousands at a time. Their price point is going to be so much higher, and as a result, people are paying more for it. So bringing the price down is not unheard of, and it's not impossible. I think let's all try to see that if we can pressure this new prime minister to do that.
Absolutely. I mean, it's all the same people, they just recycle themselves. So like mine tongkat lah, we just hope that when the right pulley falls into the right place, hopefully the right person makes the right decision. But just to put a reminder out there to all the followers that when you buy the saliva test kit or your self-test kit, please make sure that you're buying one that is recognized and one that is proper, because there are many out there that are actually counterfeit or fake ones that don't give you the right result. So we do see people selling at marked down prices. Like, I mean, YB is selling it because he's got a certain market price and he's brought it down at a bonus pricing. But there are some people out there that are selling it at 10 or 5 ringgit even, I've seen. But they're the fake ones, So even if you're positive, it doesn't tell you that you're positive. Or if you're negative, it doesn't give you the right amount. So be cautious when you're looking. Our KKM websites and JKJAV websites and all have got a list of the ones that have been approved in our country. Please have a look at those before you actually go and get one. And I'm sure these ones have all already been the ones that are already.
The one that I'm selling is on one of the 13 in the MDA website. So
exactly,
I won't sell something which is not listed.
Absolutely, but I'm just saying for the ones out there, they say, oh, YB is selling it at 10 ringgit. This uncle here, now everybody in my neighborhood is selling a test kit also. This uncle is selling the test kit, so I think it's the same one that YB, So be careful with the brands, be cautious with the ones that you're buying. Make sure you're getting a legit, proper one so that you get the correct test. There's no point testing if you're testing using the wrong kit. So on that note, what are they? I mean, this has been absolutely wonderful. We know so much has been done for Bukit Gasing people. Now I wish I live in Bukit Gasing, but I've got Michelle in Subang, so yay, she's been doing a wonderful job as well. Hannah was in Subang before that, YB Hannah. So I think we are almost on the right track. So I think if I ever move to Bukit Gasing, I will definitely come and holler at you.
You must let me know if you do move.
Yes, I will. Definitely. So any final messages to everybody out there about what you've done, what you want to do, or anything in general? Almost there. We've lost quite. Oh, okay. Sorry, we lost you for a bit.
For a minute, I also didn't hear you.
Yeah, so I lost you for a bit. So your final message.
Yeah, my final message. Stay safe. I think you can, whatever that's happening around 20,000 cases a day, 24,000 cases a day, you can protect yourself from being infected. If you properly mask and you properly sanitize when you go out there, you're careful with who you come into contact with while not wearing a mask, either by sharing a meal or for whatever other reason, you can protect yourself from being infected, and you can ensure that the people you care about don't get infected. So while a lot of things are happening out there, do your best to protect yourself, and do take advantage of the self-test kits for the times that you're going to be communicating with someone while not being protected by a mask. So stay safe, everyone.
And with that, thank you so much, YB Rajiv. You take care as well. You're out and about in the community, so make sure you're masked, make sure you sanitize as well.
Exactly.
And do take care, because we definitely need more and more YBs like you. We definitely need more people that are young in the crowd. So take care. Until next time. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.